My name's Alex, aka Heb.
And my name's Ollie, aka Griff.
Welcome to the Hebb&Griff Podcast,
where we talk all things creative.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Episode 7 of the Hebb&Griff Podcast. If you haven't seen us before, then welcome. If you have seen us before, then welcome back.
And if it's your first time here, give us a subscribe.
And maybe a like.
Yeah, a like before you've watched the video, because you know it's going to be good. We know it's good. Deck knows it's good.
You should definitely comment too.
Comment. Yeah.
Let us know where you're from in the world. We've got one listener on Spotify from Germany.
From Germany?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So if that's you,
yeah,
let us know.
And welcome back if you're watching, listening to us again.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about as far as my German goes.
Yeah. Good effort there, mate.
Thanks, mate.
What have you been up to this week?
What have I been up to?
Yeah, you've been away, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been away. My full-time job. I've been doing an intensive course, and it is intense.
Is it?
The book with all the information for what we need to learn, he chucked on my desk first thing when we got there, and it's like as thick as, I don't know, my head. It's a big book.
It's safe to say it's the biggest book you've ever probably seen.
Yeah. I don't even know how to read. You are?
Not even any pictures to help.
No. What's the course on?
It's CPC training. For anyone that might know anything about transport planning, that's my full-time job. CPC is it's basically
on board.
A training that you get so you can be a manager.
No, I thought you were just going to say, it's management training. I didn't think you was going to do all the details.
Oh, well, I didn't go into that much detail. I'll leave if you want.
I'm just, I'm a little bit concerned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you're going to be more qualified to manage than I am.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it.
Oh.
So I'm better than you.
Just didn't want you getting delusions of grandeur, really. I am worried as well because I don't want you to get short man syndrome.
I've already got short man syndrome. It's too late for that. You know that already.
No, you're not too bad. You're not too bad. Do you actually know have you ever met anyone who you think's had short man syndrome?
I thought you were going to say, have I met anyone smaller than me?
Well, I suppose you'd call it equal height syndrome, wouldn't you?
Can we move on? Stop picking on me already. What are we, like 2 minutes into the podcast and you're already throwing shade at me?
I practice those.
I'm trying to get prepared.
I'm trying to get you back for doing me a really hard quiz last week.
Oh, trying to get me back for you doing bad. That's how it works.
Trying to get some points. It's all right. I'll stop stooping so low.
Ha. 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 Don't laugh with him, Dave.
That's the last one.
Right.
I think I've done well not to do short jokes.
Oh, so you just get them all out in this episode?
Yeah. No, because
episode 7. Seven's an unlucky number, so it's my unlucky episode.
Why is it unlucky?
I don't know. I've heard 7's unlucky.
That's my favourite number.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
in fact,
God, I'm sorry, Dave.
I thought 7 was magic.
It's a good golf club. That's why I like it.
No, yeah, because me and Dak pick on you quite a bit.
Yeah, you do. For anyone listening or watching, give me some love in the comments. I need it.
No, but it's just to keep you in check, mate, really. It's
character building, right?
Yeah. That's
what I've always told myself.
Does it count as bullying in the workplace now, though?
Yeah, it is.
Well, luckily we don't have a HR department, so there's nothing you can do about it.
We are the HR department.
Yeah. Head resources. Get out.
Brilliant. How's your week been?
It's been good. I've been quite busy.
Yeah.
I'm filming filming this week in my day job. Just some interviews. It's been quite interesting. We've actually had quite a bit of work come in this week, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. It's been quite a positive week for Hebb&Griff.
Yeah, something's going right. I don't know what it is. But,
I think, like I said, I think I mentioned the other day, because everything's kind of opening up now, people are more inclined to want to start getting photos and videos because now they know that business can resume normal sense. So.
Yeah, hopefully we'll just get an increase in requests. But if it goes at the rate it's been happening, then it's going to be going quite well. I mean, so our last Sunday, it's Friday today. No, it's not. It's Thursday today. Last Sunday we was recording, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at the bank hairdressing.
Yeah.
That went really well.
Yeah, and I was slightly worried at first because there weren't as many staff as we thought, but everything we got, couldn't have gone any better, really.
It's a big place, for those who don't know it. It's a big place, and we were just worried that it wasn't going to look too busy, but I think we managed to shoot it in a way that you can't really tell. So.
Yeah. So when we were shooting it, I think what we did was made more of a conscious effort to shoot a bit tighter on the subjects, so that kind of eliminates more of the space in the background. So yeah, it's it definitely helps in those situations.
Yeah, and we've got some really cool shots.
Yeah.
I don't know how much editing has been done. I know we did a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah,
but we need to finish it off, don't we?
Yeah. But the first edit that we did, there's a section in the intro kind of section of the video, and it took us a little while to get right.
Probably about an hour.
It's like a little transition, but we'll not say too much because you'll see it when we release video. But once we got it right, we was so happy.
Based on that transition alone, I think it's going to be the best video we've ever done.
Yeah, but the thing is, we've set the bar high for the rest of the video with that one transition. So everything following that, we've got some good footage, but everything following that we've got to make sure is on the same level as that transition. So
I'm sure it will be.
Oh yeah, it will be, but it's just a bit more of a challenge.
Yeah, we'll see. I've got confidence in us. Mostly in you, because you're going to be doing it.
Yeah.
But I think we'll have to have a get together soon, won't we, and go through the rest of it. And then also, I've done a logo this week.
You have done a logo
for websites for friends.
Yeah. Why do you explain what that is?
So it's a lovely woman who lives not too far away, who is basically she has started to develop websites, and it's she comes from like a writing background.
All right.
So she's doing like but I say what writing. It's like writing for websites, like SEO and things like that.
Oh, okay.
But now she's actually started to design websites, but the sort of hook is that she's doing it for, as the name suggests, for friends and for families and for associates, and it's like she's trying to help out people get onto the internet basically and get their business online, or improve their online presence that they currently have.
That's cool.
Sounds like a really good initiative. It's actually nice to be able to help out as well. Obviously she's paid us, but it's nice to be able to help out. And yeah, she was really happy with what we've done.
Yeah,
or what I've done.
Yeah, what you've done.
You had input. You said it was all right.
I said it was good. That was my input. Where's my hat? I've realised I don't have my hat on. Can you throw my hat down? I feel. Well, I just feel a bit blonde and awful without my hat because. I decided to try and dye my hair, which you'll have seen in the first part of this video, and it didn't quite go the colour that I wanted. So this is my safe hat.
Just take your hat off, just because I'm focused on you, just to let everyone actually see.
Oh, right, there we go.
It's not the worst colour it's been.
Well, no. What do you mean it's not the worst colour it's been? I don't know why I agree with you. Actually, it did turn out green once when I tried dyeing it. I should just maybe give up trying to dye it.
We've been telling you for a while you need to shave it.
Why? Hey? Is this something else?
Because it's going thin on top.
Yeah, I know it is going thin on top. Well, actually, no, I keep saying it every time I have a conversation about my hair. I'm sure it's getting thicker on top. I'm sure.
It actually...
Oh my God.
Really? I shouldn't have bent down.
Hopefully the lighting on the camera's still okay. I think you just bounced it back into it.
Shut up.
Do you polish that?
Get out. Get out of my carriage.
I mean...
Studio.
I'd keep that on, mate. And then we've had... well, we had one person confirm with us
Yes.
that they want to shoot,
Yeah.
which is next weekend, which is quite a tight turnaround, but we're very excited about that.
We are.
I don't want to say too much yet.
No.
Until we meet with them, which is tomorrow. And then we've had another person come to us about another type of video. Again, I don't want to say too much because they've not officially said they want to use us yet. So, but the story is that things are going well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're happy.
Yeah.
And it's looking like it's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
And
So far.
there's only a couple months to go until we do our first weddings as well, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, it's going to be good when we start doing weddings.
Yeah, that's going to be really good. And we'll get to use the little toy that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, but before we talk about that time that we're talking about today,
Okay.
you know what time it is?
Oh, no.
It's
I'd happily...
it's question of the week time.
I'd happily block this from my memory.
Is
it more relevant today?
No.
No.
No. This one's more of a riddle. To be honest, I didn't prepare the question. I was just watching a YouTube video today,
Okay.
and they said a riddle on it. So I thought, well, I could use that for the for the question of the week. So
Riddle of the week.
you may have heard the riddle already, and you might guess it straight away. But the riddle is it a riddle? Yeah, it's a riddle. So what goes up but never comes down?
Mountains. Trees.
It's
Just one guess, Zach.
really kind of...
A balloon with helium in that's got enough to just leave.
I mean, that's technically true. Oh, no,
Satellites, if you do it well.
Yeah.
One of them rockets that we just sent into space. Yeah, it just keeps going forever to see how far it can go, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
just for a laugh.
Yeah. Like to waste money, don't we?
Is it like a really like... Is it like an outside of the box kind of answer? Like, it's not a physical...
I think you're thinking too much into it, but you've made your guess. Spaceships.
No, it's trees or mountains.
Trees are mountains.
Yeah.
What goes up but never comes down.
Yeah, but mountains do go down on the other side.
What? Everything goes down on the other side.
What? Well, not this. Anyway.
I don't actually know. Can I think about it?
No. Come on. First thing that comes to your
Water
head.
vapour.
Water vapour.
What about rain?
Oh, no, yeah. I was trying to be smart, but I wasn't very smart.
It's not a smart answer.
Oh.
Well, I'm giving too much away. But yeah,
Can you give more away?
it's not water vapour. There we go. That's as much of a. Come on,
a balloon.
5.
A helium balloon.
a helium balloon.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out at the end of the podcast.
I'm going to put a poll on Facebook
Yeah,
to see if anybody cares about these questions.
I'm sure people do. Don't you care, don't you?
I love them, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. No, you like
I
them because
think-
it winds me up.
Yeah, that's why you don't like
I
it.
just like making stupid guesses.
Right, so
I think you like them because it winds me up.
I think your helium balloon was a good little segue into what we're talking about now that goes up. Yeah,
This comes down though.
this does come down.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a bit about the Mavic Mini 2. I don't know if you can see that. We got this, when did we get this? In October. So we've had this about 7 months, roughly. Probably just over. Yeah, we're going to talk a bit about it. We're going to say what we think about it, how we're finding it. As drone beginners, we're going to talk about how we found it, found flying it. So where do you want to get stuck in, Ollie?
So what I think we should start off with is what you pretty much do at the start, is setting it up.
Okay.
Like how, because I haven't really set it up myself. You've always set it up for me. How have you found like kind of setting it up?
Yeah.
Because to me it looks fairly simple.
Yeah, I mean it is.
Yeah.
Short answer, yeah, it's really easy to set up. You could probably get it out of the box and fly it within 5 minutes, I would say. Basically, you get an app for your phone. Let's see if I can set this up whilst I'm talking about it. You get an app for your phone and you put it on. You put your phone onto the controller.
Got a live demonstration going on right now.
Like that.
There we go.
And you plug the wire into your phone, and then you basically turn on the control, turn on the drone, and connect to the drone with your phone. I think you need to turn
the first time
data
you
on and
actually like got it out of its box and set it up, was there any like pairing required, or was it just as simple as like what you're saying? Or did you have to pair it to like your
That's a good question.
Bluetooth or?
I think, could you try and check if this is right or not? I seem to think it was very, very straightforward and I didn't have to do that. So when you open the app, so when your controller's turned on and when your drone's turned on and when you're plugged into your drone, then your Bluetooth's on your phone and your data's on and you're turning your location on as well. It gives you the option to select which drone you want to use.
Yeah.
And you just press the Mavic Mini 2 and I think it basically just kind of looks around the area and finds it.
So the cable that plugs into your phone, is that actually to speak to the controller or is that to charge you, just keep your phone charged?
No, I think it speaks to the controller.
Right, okay. So like you need that to...
Yeah, so the control
it,
connects to the phone and the phone connects to the drone, I believe, is the way it works.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and the control's very easy to set up. It comes with these really cool little joysticks that they just slot into the bottom of it, and you just take those out and screw them in. Yeah, and then you can fly it.
Like with you being able to put the joysticks in the controller, the footprint for the whole thing is small, really.
We got what did we get? The Fly More pack, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So it's basically just a bit more than just to buy the controller and the drone, but you get a battery charger with it and 3 batteries. So they slot into this little charger here, and you can pull those out and plug them into your drone, and they just plug in. And what you can do is you can check the level of each battery just by pressing the button on the side. I don't know if you can see that, but there's lights come up here. Those should be lit up. I don't know why they're not, because it's not pushed in. Cool.
Technical difficulty.
Really simple. Yeah.
It is charged. It's charged
Really easy to use. Can't get the lights to work.
Not going to try that again. Yeah, and basically what this does is that it charges the battery with the most amount of power first, and I think the process is that you can say you've used.
Does it stop charging that battery once?
Yeah, and then it starts charging another one. Yeah,
right, that's good.
So I think the idea is that you're able to basically get out flying as fast as possible. So let's say you've got 2 batteries on 10% and one on 20%. It'll charge the 20% one first, so you can pick that up.
Because you'll get more out of it straight away.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
It all came in this bag.
So the bag came with it, yeah.
Yeah, the bag came with it, which is really small. And we've just found it very easy to move about. Basically, it's such a tiny package, and we obviously don't take it to every shoot, but we take it to quite a few just in case we think we can use it. We
took it to the last shoot.
Yeah, tried to fly it up and down a staircase.
Well, the outside shots they were absolutely fine.
Yeah,
but trying to fly it in the staircase, we was having a bit of trouble with it, weren't we?
Yeah, we think it was the propellers were obviously blowing air away, propelling air away, and it was like bouncing off objects.
Because it's quite a tight space.
Yeah,
so they want far for the air to travel.
Basically. So it wasn't going. We were trying to fly it straight up and down a staircase, weren't we? But it was
just constantly trying to stabilise itself. Maybe thinking it was windier than it actually was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was having a bit of trouble just keeping in one spot, really.
I think that's maybe a good thing to say, to go into, though, is how it flies. I'll start with how easy it is to fly. And I think it is very easy to fly. I think for a beginner drone, for sure. There's nothing too technical about it. There's 2 sticks on the control. You can customise the layout. I've customised it to suit me a bit more.
Have you customised it so it's similar to like what you'd be used to on a game?
Yeah, basically, I've customised it so it's like a PlayStation control.
So it's good that the customisations kind of go that far, where you can really suit it to what you're more used to.
That's it, yeah. And I didn't start it like that. I started it with the default controls.
Yeah.
And the more I've used it, I figured, right, actually, I want to make it a bit different and suit me more. And I have found it a lot easier since then. I think there's probably more you can do with the controls. Like you can probably get better controls, I'm sure, with the more advanced drones.
Yeah.
Probably get custom built ones.
Yeah.
That are much easier to fly. I'm sure with a lot of what do you call them? FPV drones, first person view drones. I think a lot of times there's a button that you just press and it goes forward. And then you've got a hand free for I think that's the case. I think it's like that on the newest DJI one.
Right,
I could be wrong. But yeah, like I say, for a beginner drone, it is really simple to fly. I mean, I rather stupidly decided to fly it around my house a bit when we first got it, and just took it really steady, moving about. It was good. As I say, very simple. And then I took it out to a field near where I live, and took it up there and started test flying. It was great. It was good fun. Got some like good shots just from doing that. There's a dial on the back that tilts the camera up and down, so you can get like top down shots if you want, or we've done some panning shots of it, haven't we?
Yeah. I think
it's been good, and obviously the more I've used it, the better I've got with it, and I'm at a point now where I'm really confident with it.
Yeah, I can tell that you're a lot more confident with it now compared to even when. Also, like the first time I met you with the drone at at Broughton Bridge, Hawkstow Bridge. I thought it was Broughton. Oh no, Broughton Bridge is the next one, isn't it? So yeah, Hawkstow Bridge, and like you was all right with it then, but like when you was panning around the bridge and keeping that central, you would do so much of a better job of it now than you did then.
Definitely.
Because I think obviously as you've got more used to how fast the camera moves, how fast the drone moves, you're kind of like, in a sense, more like part of the drone. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you know how it works a lot better, so it feels more natural to you.
And obviously, in big open spaces, you've got nothing to worry about. Like a lot of the shoots we do with it, we are in big open spaces. For example, the one we did early this month was for a trucking company, and we basically went into their yard, and there was just nothing around. There's a few poles, but you just go higher than that, and then you don't have to worry about them basically, because you know you're not going to hit them. And obviously when you're landing, there is a landing function. Basically, when you first load your drone up, you can tell it's return to home height, and that basically you make that higher than all the structures around you. So let's say the highest structure near you is 30 meters. You make the return to home height like 35 or 40. And basically when you press the return to home button, it just shoots up into the sky to the return to home height, so that it knows it's above all the structures, flies to above where it's set off from, and just goes straight down and lands. And
I didn't know that it was set at a height.
Yeah,
that's
you
good.
Can change it. Yeah, and it's not like you won't be able to land it on a pin drop each time. It'd probably do it within a couple of meters.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, I don't think I've actually used that function really. It's more been about I've more just done it manually, haven't I? Because it is fairly straightforward. There's a little function as well on the screen where you can bring up a little map in the corner, and it's got like a...
Does that show where you are?
Yeah, it's got a line as to where the drone's been, so you can kind of, if you are lost with it, you can figure it out. Strictly speaking, you shouldn't ever lose eyesight of it, according to drone laws in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, you should always be able to see it. So that's why it's good when you are around for the shoots, because you act as a bit of a spotter for me, don't you?
Yeah.
And you say, oh, you're a bit close to that tree or that pylon. Which
So
is obviously...
with it saying like you should always have eyesight of it, I wonder why like you've got the ability to be able to fly it however many kilometres, because like you're not gonna. No one's got eagle vision.
I think it's more not so much being able to see it, but just sort of knowing generally where it is.
Well, yeah,
like
I know it's over there
that's
somewhere.
It, yeah. I mean, if you can see a plane coming, you're like, oh, I better move the drone because it's in the way of the plane. Hopefully, people never fly that close to planes. But yeah,
you get some really good footage if you did.
Yeah, you'd also probably get arrested. Yeah, you can fly it very far away though. I can't remember. Would you be able to check this from your day? But I think we figured out it was like 3,000 meters, or was it more?
How far it could go?
Yeah, how far the drone can go.
I believe it was 3 kilometres. I'll just check.
Because we had a bit of a play with it, didn't we, when we was at the bridge?
Yeah.
And
well, you went as far as you dared to.
And it started saying, oh, we're losing signals. We're like, right, better fly back before we get an angry farmer.
Back, yeah. But I'm pretty sure it was 3,000. I want to say 10k. It's not 10k, is it?
I remember it being really far.
Yeah, I remember
like
finding
far.
it and thinking that's ridiculous how far you can fly
I've
it.
seen it before, but I can't actually see it now.
It's all right.
I can see the maximum height of 4,000 metres.
Yeah, well, that's a good point though. Like what's the limit in the UK now? It's not that high. It's like 125 meters or something like that.
What? How high you can go?
Yeah, with the drone.
That's not high at all, is it?
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Pretty high.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm sure we've taken it really high before.
It just doesn't sound. Well, I think it doesn't sound high in comparison to how far you can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you fly up that high, you're like, oh wow, yeah, this is this is really high up in the air, and it's based on. It's not like altitude. It's based on distance from the ground. So let's say you're at the bottom of a hill,
yeah,
and you flew straight up, 100 meters, that's fine. And then also if you go to the top of the hill and you fly it straight up from where you stood, 100
that's
meters,
what I was going to ask.
Fine.
I was going to say, what if you stood at the top of like the highest skyscraper in New York or whatever, or in the world, wherever that is, and flew it from there? So it just count from where you stood.
Yeah, that's it.
Up.
I think you just say you're 200 metres in the air already. You're going to start struggling with wind even more. Aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. That's
it
what I was.
Exponentially.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was.
Just to add on distance, sorry, it's 10 kilometres or 6 kilometres,
Right.
depending on which country you're in.
Yeah.
Because of their wars and stuff. But it will go up to 10 kilometres away.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. Like we say, we tried it quite far, didn't we? And then we got a bit scared and brought it back. But yeah, it's to sort of bring it back to what you were saying, Doug, about the wind. That's probably the biggest issue with it, I would say.
Yeah,
is just that it gets buffeted by the wind a hell of a lot.
Yeah, it's because of its size.
Yeah,
really,
it's tiny.
And it's light.
It's that's another good point. It's 249 grams, which is 1 gram below the legal limit required to fly without needing a drone license.
Right.
Just about to say that.
Yeah, yeah. It's that's why.
What's the legal limit, Deck?
It's 250 grams.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're going all over the place with this, aren't we? So, the wind. We've talked about before on this podcast, haven't we? Where we've taken it to a very windy place next to Humber Bridge, and we just got a bit too worried about it, didn't we? Especially with it being near a lot of water. We want to bring it home. But for the most part, it hasn't been an issue. We've never actually been on a shoot with it and had to bring it down.
No.
That's partly because we know how to predict the weather, obviously, and we can say actually it's not safe enough to take up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's for me, that's its biggest issue. But it's to be expected.
Yeah.
And then to go back to the weight thing, that's why it's also the perfect drone for a beginner.
Yeah. Because you don't have to do any like formalities or anything to get like ready to use it.
Yeah.
It's just a turn on and go.
Is that not for now though?
For now,
they are changing it, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it was. I feel like it was either June or July, where they're bringing in like a new law or whatever that you have to have a license. Like you just have to be the licensed holder of the drone. You don't have to do any courses or pay any money for any particular thing. I think it's just so you're the licensed holder for the drone.
It's basically in case it does come down somewhere.
Yeah.
And the police get hold of it, they can track it down to you.
Yeah, I think that'll be it.
And they'll tie you off.
Yeah.
No, I really would recommend it for beginners though. Even if you're not going to use it professionally, even if you just want to get into drone flying, or even if you just want a bit of a toy to mess about with, you don't even have to record anything. It's just good fun to fly around.
Yeah.
I think for the price you can get it for, and like we're saying, you don't need a license or anything like that, or really that much skill to use it.
Well, I mean, like I had my first go with it when we was at that bridge, and you taught me through the controls and that. And yeah, at first it was a bit like, oh God, I don't want to crash it. You were a bit kind of funny with it at first, but then after about 30 seconds, you're already used to the controls, and it's like, but if you've played games before, it's just like playing a game. I would
say you need a certain amount of hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
I think when I first started flying it, I was constantly looking down at the screen, up at the drone, down at the screen, up at the drone. But what I quickly learned was that if you just look at the screen, especially when you're trying to get the shots that you're trying to get, then it's so much easier to fly because you can look down. Obviously, be aware of your surroundings still.
That's why it's good to have a spotter, so to say.
Obviously make sure you're not going to hit anything, and then just look at the screen and do what you need to do. And then when you land it, that's maybe when you can look at the drone a bit more. And it's, again, just have a sort of general awareness of where it is in the sky, so that you know where it is if you need to bring it down at all, or get it out of the way of anything. We've not had any accidents with it so far.
Well,
I mean, I've crashed it when I was flying it around my house a little bit, but it didn't get damaged. I did get a telling off from my wife, though.
That doesn't surprise me.
It left a slight mark on the wall, which I can't blame her for, really. But yeah, we've not had any accidents yet. We've done some like risky-ish stuff as well, haven't we? Like I was saying, flying up and down this staircase. That was probably the scariest I've been. Most scared
Scariest
I've been for it.
You've been.
Scariest.
You are pretty scary, mate.
That's probably the most scared I've been flying it in a while. But it was when we took it out for our first flight together, we flew it under the bridge and stuff like that, didn't we? And it was fine. It's that thing, like I said, you just got to have a awareness of what's going on around you and whatnot. Have a drink, mate. So, what do you think about the pitch quality? I think you're more of the techie.
So the picture quality, I haven't had as much use like with the pictures themselves. The image of the video and the quality of footage that we get from that, I think, is more than good enough for using on a professional shoot and for your own like viewing pleasure, really. And like the quality, because I know a lot of people have said it can look a bit kind of cheap, not cheap, but when you're comparing it to like the more expensive drones, then it's not as good as that. But then when you actually think about it and you think about the shots that you can get with it and the quality it looks like, it's actually really good. And editing the footage on my Mac, and it's not the most powerful of Macs, it edits it absolutely fine. Like 4K footage, I can scrub through the footage without losing too many frames. Yeah, there's a few frames that you're going to generally miss, but playback for the 4K footage is absolutely fine. And even editing the colours on there through Premiere, like, obviously it's only 8-bit colour. You can't. Well, not obviously. Well, I'm saying to you, obviously. So for those of you that don't know, it's 8-bit colour. So now it's obvious it's 8-bit colour. So basically, for anyone that doesn't know, I'll try and explain it as well as I can. So 8-bit colour is just the amount of colours within a pixel.
Okay, that makes sense.
So 8-bit will have, I'm not sure on the number, but say 8-bit's got 10,000 colours per pixel. 10-bit has 10,000 colours per pixel, but I'm not sure on the exact numbers. That's just like an example. So with 8-bit, because you haven't got as many colours, you can't push them too far. Once you start pushing them too far, that's when your colours will just, like, it'll just look unrealistic. It'll start like falling apart. Very much like when we was talking about JPEG pictures compared to RAW. You can only push the colours so far. But even with this footage, I can push them far enough, because you're never really going to push colours that far, because you still want the colours to look natural, unless you're making something that's like outworldish or whatever, like a sci-fi film or something where you really want to push the colours. Like maybe there's not enough in there for you, but for like what we're doing, and just maybe warming up the tones of the grass, or just making the sky a bit less saturated and more towards teal, it's absolutely fine, and it does a brilliant job.
Is it worth mentioning? Actually, first of all, I want to ask about the 4K, because what you've been doing quite a lot is filming, or what we've been doing quite a lot is filming in 4K, and then when we're editing, we're reducing it to 1080p.
Yes.
But we've been using it as as a way of like kind of zooming in on stuff, or using it as keyframing.
Yeah.
To keep an object central.
Yeah, because you've got more quality, and I'm guessing in 4K, because I don't really understand what the difference is between 1080 and 4K, but obviously you've just got more, so it's more pixels. So yeah, because you've got that much more pixels to play with, when you zoom in, you've got about 50% worth of zoom before it gets to the same quality as a 1080p image.
Yeah.
So you've got all that space to work with. So if something's not central, you can keyframe it and keep it central. If you want to add a nice little pan that you haven't done on the drone, it's easy done, because you've got so much room to work with. And I think the minute I realised that the 4K did actually edit well on my laptop, I said to you, like, film everything in 4K, because it makes things, you can be more creative with your editing when you've got more room to play with, I find.
The only thing you can't do, in 4K, it only films at 25 frames, well, maximum 25 frames a second. In 1080p, it can do, I think is it 60? It don't go to 120, does it?
No, it don't go 120, 60, yeah.
Which is obviously what you'd use for more slower shots.
Yeah.
But yeah, 25 frames per second is fine.
I think 25 is fine. Because with a drone, the majority of the time you're quite a bit of a distance away from your subject. It's got a gimbal on it, so the footage that you get in is ridiculously smooth anyway, and you can go as fast or slow as you want with the drone, like when you're flying it. So what you can make a 60 frames per second or 50 frames per second image look like, you can get it looking exactly the same in 4K. The only difference is you haven't got the choice, and you probably like I'd rather have the ability to crop in and crop out over the ability to slow down the footage, because like I said, the footage that you get on it is like buttery smooth. Like it looks slow motion anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't think we've ever had footage that's like been shaky or anything like that.
No.
It's always been, like I say, really smooth.
I've just had a quick bit about the 8-bit, 10-bit, 16-bit.
Yeah.
I've just done some quick maths while I've been sat here. So with a 8-bit image, you can have 265 tonal values for each colour.
Right.
But with a 10-bit, you can have 1,024. But with a 16-bit, you have 65,536. So 16 is a lot of different colour variant. But the difference between an 8 and a 10, I know it's 4 times as many, but it's still not... Once you're at 256, that's a lot anyway, isn't it? But I guess that's why when I went from like 8-bit to 16-bit video games, they looked a lot better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, because that's a massive jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was on the right lines with what I was saying though.
Yeah.
We'll let you have that.
Okay. Just want 8,000 or 10,000.
Yeah. So what else can we talk about it? It's got some good like features on it, such as the I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a rotating.
Oh yeah,
function.
it's got pre-made.
Yeah, so you can tell it to focus on it, tell it to lock onto a target, like a car or a person, and you can tell it to do a 360 spin around it. It does have to do that at 1080p though. It can't do that in 4K.
Yeah, and it can only do that with a static subject.
Yeah.
It can't follow a subject.
Yeah.
I know there was a video that I watched where there's a way that you can trick it, and I forgot how you do it, but it's not a reliable way to do it. You can't think, it's definitely going to follow me through these woods or whatever. Whereas if you've got one of the like Mavic Pros or the Mavic Airs or whatever, they've got a very reliable follow mode on them, and they've got sensors all around it and on the top of it and the bottom, so you can rely on it to follow you. The follow mode is made to follow you anyway, but if you want to go through a big patch of trees or whatever, you can rely on it not to hit any of the trees. Like I've seen some videos of them, and like the drone's like it finds the best path itself to follow you. So where you might think it'll go straight line behind the path that you're walking, it uses its sensors to find the best gaps in the trees. So it'll stay relatively close to you, but like you'll find it starts going behind some trees where you think it might not go, because like it sees there's more of a gap there rather than there. So like it's really it's mind-boggling how it actually works.
Well, I don't want this now.
Yeah.
I want a new one. No, obviously if you had that kind of drone though, you would be a more serious. Well, you don't have to be, but
no.
Chances are you're more serious.
You'd have more money.
Yeah. Chances are you'd be a more serious photographer, videographer, drone flyer, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, like we keep saying, this for beginners, it's a pretty spot on drone. It's got 3 flight modes. It's got normal, which is just like obviously your average, and it goes at what you might consider an average speed. It's got cine mode, which is like basically slows everything down in terms of movement. That's for your really cinematic footage, and to be honest, that's what I've started filming everything with. Just because it is very cinematic, it's nice and steady, goes nice and smooth. Normal is still a bit jumpy, so if you
like juddery, like
not juddery,
like if you turn it like
it's like it on normal. If I pushed up slightly, it's more likely to go like shoot off.
Yeah, whereas on Cine it kind of eases into the movement. Do you think? Yeah.
Well, it just goes. It's not as reactive, basically.
Right.
So you could do the same stick movement.
Yeah.
On the controller, and it would not jerk off and shoot off into distance.
Right,
And then the third mode is sport mode, which is basically like the speed mode.
Yeah.
And I guess it's called sport mode because it's supposed to. It suggests you use it more for
football,
filming sports. Yeah, more maybe.
Does it play football?
Yeah, it plays football. Drone football.
It's a great sport mode.
Maybe more for like motorsports, I guess. It'd be like a stereotypical thing you'd use it for.
Yeah.
But it can really affect the gimbal. So if you was to just hold the forward and make it fly forward, the accelerator. I should say accelerator rather than
throttle.
If you hold the forward,
it's a throttle. It's an aircraft.
Is it?
Yeah.
If you was to hold that down and put it at full whack, it sometimes affects the gimbal because the gimbal tries to like adjust.
Because the wind's kind of blowing against it too much.
I don't think it's that. It's just I think it tries to adjust too much, basically. Right. And that is a bit of a flaw. And then I think probably my final kind of like flaw with it would be the battery life.
Yeah, it's not the best, is it?
Yeah, which is also why I'm glad we got the Fly More combo, which is so we've got 3 batteries because it's roughly half an hour basically.
Yeah, you can go through like especially if you're using sport mode, you go through the battery quite quick with that, don't you?
Yeah, and obviously the windier it is as well.
Yeah,
the more battery it's going to use.
I'm pretty sure you've gone through all. How many batteries? 3 batteries within an hour.
It's about an hour and a half. Like that. I think. Yeah, the thing is, so like we'll have had it up there for 15-20 minutes, setting everything up, getting some shots, and then we'll want to do another shot. So for example, the lorry shoot we did, we got a certain amount of shots of a lorry in one location, and then it moved around the yard a bit. And when it did that, I was on about 30%, and I knew there'd be a lot of waiting, basically, until we got the next shot. So I landed it and changed the battery, because there's no point in me waiting with that 30% battery and then having to bring it down in the middle of a shot.
Yeah.
Does it bring itself down when the battery dies, or does it just go, no, I'm 3/4 of the floor?
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't want to find out.
I would imagine it's probably got something built in.
I'd probably imagine it's got enough tech in it to bring itself home.
Yeah, because it's like we were saying earlier, it's got that home function.
Yeah.
I would imagine it would do that. So switching from photo to video, that's very easy. There's just like a little button on the controller that you just press and it switches between the two very fast. Settings wise, the app is where you do all the settings to actually set your set the settings.
Set the settings, yeah.
So like things like ISO, shutter speed, frame rate. That's where you pick all that.
You can't change aperture, can you?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's that'll be my final flaw.
Yeah.
That you can't. But it's not really a flaw.
I've got a flaw.
Have you?
Yeah. You talk about your flaw.
I was going to say that it's not really a flaw because it's not. It's not affected us massively, because it's an automatic aperture, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just a fixed
is it? Okay.
aperture. I think. I don't know. Maybe look into it, Deck. Has the Mavic Mini 2 got a fixed aperture? I'm pretty sure, but like the thing is, with drones, the likelihood of you wanting to shoot something with depth of field, like with a blurry background, is not very likely at all, because you're going to be up in the air.
It's fixed, yeah.
It is fixed. What's it fixed at?
24mm, whatever that means. 24mm equivalent fixed aperture.
Right, okay.
0.8 lens.
24mm will be the lens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Didn't say.
Didn't say anything. F-stop.
Yeah. Sorry, is that what the f2.8 is?
So it's a fixed 2.8. So that's not. That's well. To
the
be
way
honest,
it's written here, that was like a new sentence.
Oh, right. So an f2.8, if you wanted to get blurry backgrounds, you still can. It's not like it's fixed at a really wide aperture. Yeah. I always get confused because
it's referring to the size of the aperture from the hole to the...
Yeah. So, yeah.
I know what I mean.
But, so... Yeah, I kind of expected it to be more closer to like an F6 or something, because obviously you're getting more in focus, and when you're flying at heights, you probably do want to get more in focus. But with the 2.8, if you wanted to get something blurry, because our lenses go to 2.8.
Yeah, and I guess the other part of that though is like it only has automatic focus.
Yeah.
So let's say we were shooting, like you were saying, in a forest, and we was following somebody, and they were walking behind trees, and we were flying behind trees. As soon as we go behind the tree, it's going to try and focus on the tree. And then when you pull back out, so you wouldn't get the same kind of effect as you would like if we did have a manual focus.
Yeah.
Or if we was doing it with just a camera or something, which is obviously, I'm sure you can do that on more advanced drones. But
some drones you can put a full camera in it.
That's what I was about to ask. Is the camera on that then fixed?
Yeah.
I've seen drones where you can put different cameras on.
You have drones where you can put like an area Alexa in, which is the big cinema cameras.
Top gear,
That big?
What?
It's that how big's this drone?
Big.
Yeah.
Big.
Honestly, it's like a little helicopter.
Well, that's a good, because imagine even 20 years ago, if you wanted an aerial shot in a film, in a movie, you'd use a helicopter and you'd have someone hanging outside with it with a camera.
And the cost of running a helicopter.
Sometimes you catch a glimpse of a helicopter plane in the top.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you see a shadow. Yeah, but like I say, imagine the cost of a helicopter. Like you hiring a pilot.
Or just a hiring's going to cost more than a drone.
Yeah. And now you can just do it all.
Like drones have completely changed the film industry and made a lot of stuff a hell of a lot more affordable for the people in cinema, and also people like us that we'd never be able to afford a helicopter to shoot the pictures of the truck, so we won't be able to even fit a helicopter in the bank in the in the stairs.
Or
on a car. So it completely changes the game for everyone, and it's such a it's just a game changer of a thing.
It's tiny as well.
What can we compare it to that's small? Not me.
Not my head.
Get your phone up.
Yeah. So that's the phone on top.
You have to hold it up a bit.
Hold it up.
Yeah, it's literally
it's
as wide as as long as your phone.
Smaller than the phone.
Yeah. Especially when so this is how you took it away. Let me get this right. Yeah, you spin those down. Slide these back. And that's it. That's what it falls down to. Teeny tiny.
Pocket-sized drone.
It is. If you put the what do you call them? Propeller strap.
The strap on. Cheeky.
Then it does tuck away really easy. I mean, you hear people saying that they do carry it around in the pocket when they're on shoots, so they can just get it out and quickly fly it. There you go.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
Could go straight in your back pocket.
But I think probably what I'm going to do eventually is not use that bag and just get a bigger camera bag and carry it all around in my camera bag. Just in one bag.
It'll be much easier having it all in your camera bag.
I've just got my camera bag's too small.
Yeah, and I think
higher is more, so we can.
A lot of people have mentioned the controllers could do with being a bit smaller, which I probably agree with, because I don't know, it depends, because it's bigger than the drone, and if you're trying to keep the footprint small, you're gonna want everything to be small. The controller is still small, but then are you sacrificing the ergonomics of it if it's going to be smaller? Because you're not going to be as secure with your hands. So they've maybe thought about that and thought, we can't make it as small as the drone because it's going to be like you're playing on a little toy.
Someone needs to design. There's probably one that already exists, like a Nintendo Switch type controller. But
they're good controllers.
So you can just clip it onto either side of your phone,
Yeah.
It'll be really tiny.
Yeah.
Saying that though, the new FPV drone from DJI.
Yeah.
DJI. It's got like a motion sensor control with it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Basically like a little joystick.
Yeah.
I don't know how big it is, but
it fits nicely in your hand. Yeah, and it's got a few little buttons on it.
Yeah.
For I think it's just your throttle on it maybe, and then wherever you turn your hand, that's where it goes. Yeah. And I can imagine that's so much fun.
I really
want to go because I've seen videos of people like flying FPV. Yeah. And they say that the experience that you have flying FPV is so much different than flying a normal drone.
Deck, can you find out how much the...
I've seen people racing with them.
Yeah, that's
the
really standard good for racing. Yeah. Can you see how much the DJI FPV drone is, please? And then just put your credit card details in.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I get 2?
Yeah.
Get 3. There's 3 of us.
Yeah, then we can race.
Yeah.
I definitely will.
Yeah, it used to be though that we get a bit off topic here, aren't we? But it used to be that basically to have an FPV drone, you have to build it yourself, and it's basically all just circuit boards. And
you have to know how to solder and stuff like that, and like they're really dangerous. Like the batteries on them.
Which part am I looking at? The goggles or the motion?
The whole thing.
The whole package.
You can get a drone. You can get the whole thing, drone, everything, goggles and everything. It's $12.49.
What? That's not too bad.
That's like right. That's all of it.
Right, well, know what I'm saving up for.
Yeah.
I can find a discount code.
I feel like there's... yeah.
That's apparently got the same camera as the Mini.
Right, okay.
But there are companies that are making attachments that you can strap on a GoPro or something, so you can get like better footage than any of the DJIs.
I'm sure
so it's essentially like
one has a GoPro attachment on his.
Does it?
I'm sure it did. I could be willing to be wrong, but I'm sure he had an attachment on his, the big one.
He's got the. Has he got the? Well, do you know? He's got the Phantom.
Yeah. I'm sure it had a.
I know it's got a big camera on it anyway. I can't imagine unless he wanted the.
He was
that
doing it
footage for something else.
He was doing it commercially for a bit.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm sure it had a GoPro attachment thing for it. I could
probably
perfectly willing to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'd like to... Sorry if you can hear the water.
Yeah, it's not deck having a word in the background.
That's
the garage, the roof. The studio's roof is just flat. So yeah, it's got for some reason it's got the drain running through the garage. I don't know why.
Studio.
What? It's studio. Sorry.
Flat roof theory. Yeah, no, I'd love to build up to a point where we can get just like a stupid, ridiculous drone.
Yeah.
That is basically a helicopter.
But then we have to get a stupid, ridiculous license.
Yeah. And
we can't fly it anywhere.
What's the future for drones?
There's like we'll be sat in them.
Yeah, well, I think there is genuinely like drones, probably not in that mass production.
I think I've seen...
but there's like concept drones, definitely, where it's like... it's got no controls in it. You get in it and you tell it where you want it to go, and it takes off and flies you there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure that is a thing. Not in like mass production, like I say, just like concept. They've had it at like technology shows and things like that. But it's so like, because like it's all like lightweight materials now, and you can just... They're very powerful and all like electronic batteries.
Oh, no, this is what I saw. So there's the
hoverbike.
Yeah, the hoverboard.
Oh no, it's in a
hoverbike. There's a guy that's made a hoverboard which is essentially just like a big drone, and he's flying through some streets in America or something. But have you seen it?
I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. But
that's cool. I bet that's very unsafe.
Yeah, but he's driving it on the main roads, and like, I'd not trust that driving on busy main roads. No. And he's like even stopping at traffic lights and stuff like that. Like he's just in the car. But is that the future for drones? Are we all going to be going to work on a drone?
Without being too like bringing the idea. I just don't think so. All it takes is that one lunatic strapping something onto himself and flying into the side of a building.
Yeah.
And then that's gone. Same with hover cars.
Well, like Green Goblin?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you have bollards outside shops, don't you, so you can't drive into them. But you can't have a bollard the entire way up a skyscraper.
Yeah, but by the time we're flying around in drones, like, buildings will have shields around them. So that's not going to be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, like that. That's the future.
It is.
It's like them gun things on Star Wars. You know, where in the Phantom Menace, where they get that big dome shield.
Oh, and they fight down.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the future.
Bomb
Drones and shields.
Yeah, and Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
That's the future.
Where's he going to be?
In the shields.
All right.
Yeah, causing havoc. Little mischief maker.
Little rascal.
Little rascal. Oh, Misa, sorry. Anyway.
Got off topic a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Mavic Mini.
Yeah.
2.
It is.
Go buy it, I think.
Go buy it. Oh, the one thing that I wanted to mention.
Just put your hand up. There's literally 3 people in the room, mate.
Pick me. Can I go next?
Okay.
Oh, thank you. So, picture profiles on there. You're very limited to what picture profile you can pick. Yeah, it's not. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it on the mic. But yeah, the picture profiles on there. You're very limited to what you can pick.
Yeah.
And a lot of the better DJI drones, they have what's called a log profile. For anyone that don't know what a log profile is, why are you smiling at me? All right.
If people can't hear that on the audio, then we're going to look really weird.
Yeah.
Annoying me.
So yeah, a log profile is basically a flat picture profile where the shadows and the highlights, if you're looking at it on a waveform, they're like crushed together. So then when you bring out the shadows and highlights, you've got more dynamic range to play with because the profiles naturally flatten them. And you'll see with a flat profile, it's got little to no contrast at all until you start bringing them blacks and shadows down and them highlights out, and then you start bringing in your contrast and colours and that. But that's the advantage with flat profiles. You've got more dynamic range. But saying that, the dynamic range on that anyway is good. I've never really looked at the footage and gone, it's really made a massive difference at being fixed to the profile. Like when it's sunny and you've got like your sunny part compared to your shadows, your sun's going to be really overexposed. Shut up. It's worse for you, it's like right behind you.
It's right around there. Makes it
like creeping up on you.
Yeah. No, yeah. Right. Out of 10, if you had to give it a score.
I'd like to say 10.
Well, that's just silly.
Bloody hell, that's crazy.
Yeah. You can't give it 10. So we're doing ice skating rules. So if it's a 10, it's 2 perfect.
All right, okay. Well,
a 10's the one that you're talking about that you can fly on and ride on, and it has a.
Well, no, but like a 10 for many reasons, because.
Yeah, but then it's not a 10 for other reasons. So on average, it can't be a 10.
You can't have 10. That's a rookie number.
Can I have an 8? Thanks. I'll go with an 8 then.
Okay.
Because it's a perfect 8.
Yeah, it's. I think. Obviously, I've never flown a drone before. Found it easy to handle. Like I said, the picture quality is good. Does get buffeted by the wind, so yeah, I think probably an 8 is about right, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. 8
8.
out of 10.
You're happy with that? The thing is, it does everything that we need it to do.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll upgrade, I'm sure, at some point.
Until like we want to start like sitting on it and flying around. and then it'll go to a 2.
I want to keep it forever though. I want it like for nostalgia.
Oh yeah, there's no point getting rid of it. Yeah. Like that's going to be on your shelf.
Yeah.
Like a trophy.
Yeah.
This is what I had. Well, what you had your first maiden flight with.
Talking about it like it's a girlfriend.
Well, it's
getting a bit weird. Should we just go on to your question then?
Yeah, let's get to the question. Swiftly moving on. What was the question? Do you remember the question?
What goes
up, I know the answer.
Never down.
You've searched for the answer?
No, I knew it anyway. I just wanted to play along with your dumb question.
You better know the answer.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'll laugh at you.
Go on.
No.
Repeat the question in case anyone's forgot.
So it's the answer's not my expectations because they've certainly gone down.
What goes up but does not come down? And the answer is, Dec, what do you think it is? Because you think you're right.
It's your age.
It is your age.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Yeah.
All right, anyway.
If anyone guessed that, give us a like. If anyone didn't guess that, hit the dislike button twice.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of these questions, Ollie. I feel like it's a dead note to end the podcast on.
Because well, until you get it right and you're like, oh yeah, see, I knew it. Like, then you'll start saying, yeah, it's a really good idea.
That's not a bad point, actually.
Yeah. So you better get used to it. It's happening in every podcast. And
just knows I'll never get one right.
Hey?
Just knows I'll never get one right.
There, I'm sure you would have got it right.
But only because I read a riddle book before.
Yeah. So, like I said, you might already know this.
I was really hoping it'd be one of the ones out of The Hobbit, but then I thought, he's not read The Hobbit.
Yeah. Maybe I should give you a riddle next week that's out of Hobbit.
You should take turns in the question.
No. I don't like the sound of that. If you want to ask me a question, you ask me a question when we've turned off the cameras. And then if I get it right...
What is... Yeah. Okay. That was good. If you're interested in everything else, sort of creative media, give us a subscribe if you've stuck out this far.
Yeah. If you're
question.
interested in just normal chit chat, we have normal chit chat before we talk about creative stuff. So
like, subscribe, follow, do whatever you want to do. But most of all, thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
I don't know why I'm waving.